This was the simple elegance of her bath. No retinue of useless slaves, no pomp, no idle waste of precious moments. In another half-hour her hair was dried and built into the strange but becoming coiffure of her station. Her leathern trappings, encrusted with gold and jewels, had been adjusted to her figure, and she was ready to mingle with the guests that had been bidden to the midday function at the palace of the warlord. As she left her apartments to make her way to the gardens where the guests were congregating, two warriors, the insignia of the house of the Prince of Helium upon their harness, followed a few paces behind her, grim reminders that the assassin's blade may never be ignored upon Barsoom, where, in a measure, it counterbalances the great natural span of human life, which is estimated at not less than 1,000 years. As they neared the entrance to the garden, another woman, similarly guarded, approached them from another quarter of the great palace. As she neared them, Tara of Helium turned toward her with a smile and a happy greeting, while her guards knelt with bowed heads in willing and voluntary adoration of the beloved of Helium. As always, solely at the command of their own hearts, did the warriors of Helium greet Deja Thoris, whose deathless beauty had more than once brought them to bloody warfare with other nations of Barsoom. So great was the love of the people of Helium for the maid of John Carter, it amounted practically to worship, as though she were indeed the goddess that she looked. The mother and daughter exchanged the gentle Barsoomian Kaor of greeting and kissed. Then together they entered the gardens where the guests were. A huge warrior drew his short sword and struck his metal shield with the flat of it, the brazen sound ringing out above the laughter and the speech. "The princess comes!" he cried. "Deja Thoris, the princess comes! Tara of Helium!" Thus always is royalty announced. The guests arose. The two women inclined their heads. The guards fell back upon either side of the entranceway. A number of nobles advanced to pay their respects. The laughing and the talking were resumed, and Deja Thoris and her daughter moved simply and naturally among their guests, no suggestion of differing rank apparent in the bearing of any who were there, though there was more than a single Jeddak and many common warriors whose only title lay in brave deeds or noble patriotism. Thus it is upon Mars, where men are judged upon their own merits rather than upon those of their grandsires, even though pride of lineage be great. Tara of Helium let her slow gaze wander among the throng of guests, until presently it halted upon one she sought. Was the faint shadow of a frown that crossed her brow an indication of displeasure at the sight that met her eyes, or did the brilliant rays of the noonday sun distress her? Who may say? She had been reared to believe that one day she should wed Jor Kantos, son of her father's best friend. It had been the dearest wish of Kantos Khan and the warlord that this should be, and Tara of Helium had accepted it as a matter of all but accomplished fact. Jor Kantos had seemed to accept the matter in the same way. They had spoken of it casually as something that would, as a matter of course, take place in the indefinite future, as, for instance, his promotion in the Navy, in which he was now a padwar, or the set of functions of the court of her grandfather, Tardos Mors, Jeddak of Helium, or death. They had never spoken of love, and that had puzzled Tara of Helium upon the rare occasions she gave it thought. For she knew that people who were to wed were usually much occupied with the matter of love, and she had all of a woman's curiosity. She wondered what love was like. She was very fond of Jor Kantos, and she knew that he was very fond of her. They liked to be together, for they liked the same things and the same people and the same books, and their dancing was a joy, not only to themselves, but to those who watched them. She could not imagine wanting to marry anyone other than Jor Kantos. So perhaps it was only the sun that made her brows contract just the tiniest bit at the same instant that she discovered Jor Kantos sitting in earnest conversation with Olvia Marthis, daughter of the Jed of Hastor. It was Jor Kantos' duty immediately to pay his respects to Deja Thoris and Tara of Helium, but he did not.